Hi guys, it's Ash here. We are up for a 20-minute full glutes workout today. It will be spicy, so we'll see how we go. If you have them at home, you can just have some small ankle weights on. If you don't have them at home, that's so fine. You can do this workout without, but if you just want that little extra spice, pop them on, and then we're going to start down on the mat. So when you're ready, have a little lie down. Feet are on the floor. I also forgot to say that my weights are about, I think it's a little under a kilo. I think it's 0.8, 0.9. So just for reference, if you're interested in getting some, feet a little bit wider towards the edge of the mat. And we're just going to have a little windscreen wipe of the legs from side to side, keeping both shoulder blades on the mat. If you find a little sticky spot, we can take a couple of breaths before moving on, and we're gently just going to sway from side to side. You can have your hands on your tummy, or maybe you want to lengthen the arms out to the sides of the room. Amazing. Coming all the way back through center. We're just going to pick up one knee. More than welcome to extend your opposite leg. You can just do little knee circles here, taking a couple of breaths. And we can also just cross that knee over your body. Look in the opposite direction. Just 3 big breaths here. Both shoulder blades down. Beautiful. All the way back through center. Just swapping legs. Other leg into chest. Opposite leg can extend on the mat. We can just do little knee circles, circling the knees. Or we can gently cross the knee over the body, eye gaze towards the other side, so away from your knee. Just have a couple of breaths here. Big breath in. We're going to come all the way back through center. Now feet are about hip width apart on the mat. Proud open chest. And you can just start off with the hands by your side. Big breath in. We're going to stand in our neutral position through the spine, and we're just going to rock your pelvis, your rib cage, your pubic bone goes to the ribs. Scoop to the belly, and we're going to roll your hips off the floor one vertebra at a time until your knees, hips, and shoulders find that long line. Big breath in, and then from your breastbone, we're going to roll back down through the spine one vertebra at a time. Try to keep the legs parallel. Exhale, tilt the pelvis, scoop through the belly. We're going to roll all the way up. Have that big breath in, and then exhale. We're going to roll all the way down. Now, you can play with where your feet are. Feet close to the bum, sort of closer to the bottom, is going to be a little bit more glute based. Feet a little bit further away is going to be more hamstring based. So you can sort of have a play with what feels best for you. Just rolling those hips all the way up. At the top of the movement, we find knees, hips, shoulders in that long line. I want you to be really careful that you're not arching through the rib cage. You keep melting your rib cage down to the hips at the top of the movement. Big squeeze before we roll down evenly. So those hips stay level as we roll up. Think about lengthening through the thigh bones. Big breath in. And then we're going to roll all the way down. You're still using your inner thighs to keep those legs parallel. Can we do 2 more? Just have that open, proud chest. Big squeeze at the bottom. Last one, we're going to hold. And I really want you to squeeze through the left bottom to exhale, lift the right leg into a tabletop position. You can drop that right leg down. And then we're going to roll down through the spine one vertebra at a time. Exhale, tilt the pelvis, scoop through the belly, roll up. Can we just take a big breath in? Pause. Squeeze to the right glute. We're going to lift left leg into tabletop. Hold. Inhale, lower. And then exhale, roll down. Nice. 3 more here. Rolling all the way up. Big squeeze of that supporting bottom before we lift one leg into tabletop. Lower the foot, roll down. Try to keep those hips as squared to the floor as we can, so your hips don't move. We're going to really have to use your obliques, and as we lift one leg into tabletop, almost press your heel of that stabilizing foot into the floor. Great work. Last one here, rolling all the way up, lifting that leg into tabletop. Great, lowering those toes down, and we roll down. We're gonna have a little add-on. So on this next one, we're gonna roll up one vertebrae at a time. Squeeze to that left bottom. Exhale, lift right leg tabletop. Can we inhale, lengthen the right leg? So the legs are at 45 degrees, your knees align. We bring that leg back into tabletop, and then we drop the foot. Now you have an option to roll back down through the spine, or if you want that little bit more, we are going to hold up for a little bit longer. Squeeze to the right bottom, lift left leg. Exhale, lengthen. Gorgeous. Inhale, bend. Inhale, drop the foot. See if you can keep marching, but you always reset when you need. Amazing. Plant your foot on the floor before we pick up the opposite leg. Keeping that diagonal spine. So you might have to reset if you need. That's okay. You come back when you're ready. If you need to go back to that previous movement, that's okay. Keep those hips high and keep your rib cage drawing down. We've got one more per leg. Then we got last little add-on here, if it feels good. So on this next one, we're gonna lift left leg tabletop. Nice. Can we extend the left leg hold? We're going to sweep those left toes to the ceiling. We lower the left leg back to tabletop, or sort of more to 45 degrees. Bring it back to tabletop. Lower the leg. Can we lift the right leg? Hold. Exhale to extend. Inhale, sweep the toes to the ceiling. Let's lift those hips a little bit higher. We lower that leg back to 45 degrees. Find tabletop. Find the floor. Let's do two more per side. Lift, extend, raise those toes to the ceiling. You find 45 degrees, back to tabletop before we lower. Great. After this one, we just have two more. One per side. Keeping that rib cage melting down. Keeping those hips as still as we can. Have a little rest. Take a second. Feel free to roll back through the spine. Lovely. Now, we're going to bring left leg into tabletop. We see if you can just go into that pelvic hip roll. With your left leg in tabletop, you can always pop those toes down on the floor if you need. Tilt the pelvis, scoop to the belly. We roll all the way up. Big breath in. We're going to roll all the way down. Lovely. Tilt the pelvis, scoop to the belly, roll up, and then roll all the way down. Try to keep those knees tracking in line with the second to third toes. As you work, really driving through those heels, or the heel on the floor. On this next one, hold at the top. Can we lengthen toe to toe, or knee to knee, sorry, lengthen the leg, bend it back into tabletop before we roll down. So adding that leg extension, rolling up, holding, legs extend, leg bends, and then we can roll down through the spine. Can we do two more? Keep those hips high. Last one here. And we're going to add that sweep if we can. Doing really well. Take that break if you need. Come back when you're ready. We're going to roll up, hold, lengthen, lift the toes to the ceiling, back to 45, back to tabletop, roll down through the spine. Nice. Rolling up, hold, lengthen, toes to the ceiling, 45, back to tabletop, roll down. Can we do 2 more here? Doing so well. Last one. Now have a little breather if you need, because we're going to hold at the top. Take a big breath in. Let's go. Roll up, hold. Just that leg extension. Exhale, extend. Inhale, bend for 4. Keep that bottom high for 3. Nice. Last 2. Lengthen and hold. Last one. Sweep the toes to the ceiling. 45. Toes to the ceiling. 45 for 3. Lovely. For 2. Toes to the ceiling. Hold 1. Little pulses. Reaching those toes up and down. Breathing naturally. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Rolling down. Take a little breath. We've got that on the other side. So take a little second. We're going to lift right leg into tabletop this time. Back into that hip roll. Tilt the pelvis, scoop for the belly. We roll up, hold. Just take that big breath in. And exhale, we're going to roll down through the spine, 1 vertebra at a time. Amazing. Rolling up. Big breath in. And then we roll all the way down. Exhale. Nice and slow. Drive through the heel. Squeeze through the bottom at the top of the movement. Keeping your hips as parallel and as level as we can. Now on this next one, we're going to roll up, hold. Can we lengthen? Right leg to 45 degrees so your knees align. We're going to bring that leg back into tabletop. Roll all the way down. Amazing. Rolling up. Taking it nice and slow. Legs to 45. Back into tabletop. Rolling down. Try not to rush through this movement. So you can keep it really slow. Doesn't have to be quick. Amazing work. Let's just do 1 more. And we do have that add-on. On this next one, we're going to roll up and hold. So roll up, hold. We lengthen the right toes. Can we take the right toes to the ceiling? Back to 45 degrees. Find tabletop. Roll down. Nice. Rolling up, hold. Lengthen the toes to the ceiling. 45. Back in tabletop. And roll down. Stunning. Continuing here. We've got 4. Really slow. Keep driving your heel into the floor through that left side. Last 3. Great. Open, proud chest as we work. For 2. Keep that rib cage connected to the hips. 1 more here. Have a big breath in at the bottom. We're going to hold at the top. Take a second, have that moment. Roll up, hold, just that leg extension. Extend, exhale, inhale, bend. For 4. Lovely. For 3. Last 2. Leg extends, hold 1. Toes to ceiling, toes to 45. 4. Get ready to hold. In 3. In 2. Toes to the ceiling, hold. Let's pulse the toes up a centimeter, down a centimeter. Come back to that natural breath. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Rolling down through the spine. Amazing work. Have that little breather. You can have that little shake from side to side. Awesome here. We're going to come up. We're almost there. I'm going to come to a kneeling position. This is a lot with ankle weights, so more than welcome to take the ankle weights off. So high kneeling if we can. We're going to start off with, let's do our right hand. We measure 3 hands distance away. And then you're going to stack your shoulder over the hand, and we extend your left leg. So you're in a little sort of straight line. So from the toes all the way up through the crown of the head, straight line. I'm going to exhale, lift the leg, inhale, lower. So we lift that left leg, inhale, lower. I want you to think about, instead of leaning your body forward, think rib cage down. We find that straight line. So it's like our body is in between two panes of glass. You're constantly lifting the chest away from the floor. If you feel like you've got wrist issues and you want to come up into a fist, that's fine. If you feel like you need to support your head with that top hand, that's fine as well. You've got 5. Nice. Last 4. Big squeeze the bottom. 3. Beautiful. 2. 1 more. Have a breather at the bottom because we're going to lift. We bend knee to knee. We extend. We lower. Lift. Bend. Extend. Lower. We're just going to continue working through here. Now it's okay. Other leg is still working, so that's fine. Nice. Last 5. Great work. For 4. Keep breathing. Keep coming back to that breath. Last 3. For 2. 1 more here. Have that little breather. We're going to hold at the top. Just that bend and extend. Inhale, bend. Big press and reach. Inhale, bend. Big press and reach. For 8. Gorgeous. For 7. Keep that rib cage drawing down. Last 6. Almost there. 5. Short little set here. 4. Push that chest away from the floor. 3. Great. 2. Last 1. Big press and reach. Hold. Pulse. Centimeter up, a centimeter down. Open through the chest. Square the chest towards me. Let's relax that top shoulder. You got 5. 4. 3. 2. Point the toes. 1. Circle the leg. For 5. For 4. Let's go that little bit higher. 3. 2. Other way. Circle 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Whew. Take a little second. Have a little moment. We've just got that other side. So have that little breather. Give that bottom a little tap. When you come up to that high kneel position, left hand this time. Walk 3 hands distance away. You're going to stack your shoulder over the hand. Remember, come up into a fist if we need. Legs extend, right leg long. Exhale, lift the leg. Inhale, lower. Gorgeous. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Now top hand can be behind the head, and you want to push your head back into that hand. If you ever struggle with neck issues, but sometimes looking towards the floor is still good and it feels nice. So you can have a little play with what feels best for you. Big squeeze at the bottom to lift the leg, and then to lower. Nice. Keep that rib cage drawing down. 5. For 4. Nice controlled movements. 3. Last 2. You got 1 more here. Hold. Can we bend knee to knee? Or bend that knee to like in line with the hip. Big press. And then reset toes to the floor. Nice. Lift. We're going to bend, push, and lower. You've got 8. Ooh, the side feels a little bit harder. Last 7. Glutes already very warm. For 6. Keep breathing here. Nice work. 5. You're really drawing in through that core as well. For 4. Almost there. Last 3. We're going to get ready. We hold at the top in 2. Whew. 1 more. Finish it off. Doing great. Have that second at the bottom. Reset. We hold at the top. Bend. Big press. For 8. Nice. 7. Get ready to hold. 6. Whew. 5. 4. Great work. 3. 2. 1, hold. We pulse up a centimeter, down a centimeter. Find that length through the spine. 5, 4, 3, 2, hold. We circle. Circle 5, 4. Let's go that little bit higher. 3, 2, other way, other way. 5, you've got this. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Oh my goodness, have a second. Oh, okay, stretching time. We've got a figure 4, and I lied, we've got a pigeon. So if you have got your ankle weights on, just take those ankle weights off because it won't be too comfortable here. And then, for some reason I can't take my ankle weight off. Wow, this is a struggle. Oh, found it. And then we're gonna find pigeon pose. So you can bring your right ankle forward towards your left hand, and then just have that little hinge forward. Take a couple of breaths and just sink into that leg. 3 big breaths in through the nose, exhale out through the mouth. Last one, we're just going to push into those hands, curl your back toes under, almost finding a plank. Then we're going to swap legs. Shin is parallel to the front of the mat. We're just going to come back to your breaths. Amazing. Coming all the way up. You guys are done today. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you next time.